Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Milen and I'm a personal stylist, and today we're talking about Vogue's top 5 colors for the fall winter season and how to make it work for you and your season. Trends can often alienate people, and I am here to change that. So if you want to participate in these color trends, here's how you're going to do it. If you already know your color season and you find that going shopping can be a little bit difficult, figuring out exactly what yellow is yellow for you or which green works best for you, I am now offering, and it's on my website live, are these clear color cards. They're incredible. So many of my clients have purchased them and they are obsessed. You can walk down the aisles of clothing making sure they match exactly. They're clear, so it's easy to lay on top of a color, and it's all in your best colors for your color season. So I have the cards for every single sub-season. All the information is down below if you want to purchase. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. All right, let's dive in. Khaki. Now, this is a beautiful green. However, it is quite muted, quite warm, so not every sub-season feels at home or it's their best green. So the warmer sub-seasons, especially in the autumn season, are going to look the most comfortable at home with this color. And they can wear it in larger fashions, meaning all over, and not feel like it's not doing them any services. So if you're a soft autumn, just opt for a little lighter version of a khaki, a slightly not as intense color. If you're a true autumn, you can go for like a true khaki, like warm, very muted, not overly muted, but a slightly more saturated khaki. Incredible. Dark autumn, just go for like a deeper khaki that's slightly more like a dark olive tone to it. For my spring beauties, I would still be able to wear khaki, no problem, but try to find ones that have a little bit more brightness to them. They're almost a little bit more of an olivey khaki, not a full true khaki. And I do find that if you wore like a lower neckline with a khaki color and with like maybe a gold necklace or something brighter near your face, is going to really help bring that brightness, a little bit more of that clarity that you may need, and just ensure that it's the very warmer side of the khaki. For light springs, kind of go closer towards what a soft autumn would wear, but with that necklace kind of closer to your face, so it doesn't feel too muted for your slightly brighter appearance. Winters, for true and bright winter, it's going to be quite difficult to add this into your, larger pieces. However, if you're obsessed with this color, you want to participate, here's a couple ways you could do it. You could wear it on the bottom and mix it, or wear it with your whites with a cool brown or your burgundies. However, it's going to feel a little off with the colors that you do currently have. So that's why I suggest going with like the neutrals, the black, the cool browns, and the whites, to easily infuse it into your wardrobe without buying other things to try to make it work. Dark winters, you'll have a little bit of an easier time doing that because you are neutral and very close to the dark autumn palettes. Just find ones that have a bit more gray in them and you'll be good to go. Summers, I think, will have the hardest time with this, but kind of similar to what I said with the winters, because khaki is a bit more muted, that helps a little bit. And so you can do the similar idea, wear it with gray, wear it with ivory or off-white to kind of help offset it a little bit, and wear those colors that I just mentioned on the top and then the khaki on the bottom. And of course, you can always wear these colors in accessories to help you further. If you really don't want to buy a piece that doesn't really go with most of your wardrobe, if you're really sticking to your color season, that's a fantastic way of doing that. I've also got a video talking about how to wear colors that are outside of your season, so you could always check that out. Pink is the second color, and although there are many shades of pink, every trend of pink has a very specific kind of pink, and they're calling for a very muted pink. Now, that can be difficult for our brighter, clearer seasons. There are still ways to do it, so I would opt for the lightest pink in your palettes to kind of almost emulate the mutedness, even though it's not technically muted. It'll be easier to find in stores. So for winters, true and bright, I would go for like an icy pink or a baby classic baby pink type of deal. It almost feels softer, but there's lots of white infused, so you've got a bit more of that brightness or coolness that you need for your complexion. Dark winters, I would go for a muted Merlot pink. So it has a little bit of purple in it, but it is a slightly more muted and you can handle more muted tones. Dark autumns, this is easy because we're muted in the autumn family, so no problem here. Go for like a muted burgundy pink, if that makes sense. Like nothing too reddish, but just on the cusp, like in between. True autumns and soft autumns, go for muted corals, like kind of a not overly bright coral, but just a little bit. That's gonna be your best muted pink. Soft summers and true summers, go for that muted blush. That's going to look incredible on you. Those dusty pinks with those cool undertones. Yes. Light summers and light springs, go for those baby pinks, but obviously one a little bit more warm and a little bit cool. It's like a slightest difference between the two. Bright spring, go for the equivalent of kind of a brighter baby pink that's warm. It's like that icy pink that the winters can wear, but there's more warmth infused into it. Sort of like a toned down hot pink. True spring, go for a coral pink that feels a bit brighter than what the autumns would wear, just more intense, a little bit more saturated. Gray. Now, this one I think is going to be probably the hardest for warm seasons, because although there is sort of a shade of gray in every subseason, they're not those true classic grays that you see in the stores, so you will need to dig a little bit. But for the winters and summers, this is essentially a easy, breezy neutral for you. But for everyone, here's your best gray. Light summers, go for a lighter gray, of course, something that isn't too bright and slightly muted, nothing too muted or too bright. Soft summers, go for like a middle grade gray, you know, nothing too deep or too light and bright. True summers, you can do kind of a slated gray or more of like a charcoal kind of gray. True winter, go for a medium, like classic gray. The coolest gray you can find. Just like gray. Bright winter, you want to go for kind of a in between a light gray and a medium gray with lots more white infused so that it feels a bit brighter on you. And dark winter, go for a dark charcoal gray. For my warm seasons, strap in. Some of these won't feel so gray, but there's gray infused into these colors. So because this is not your best color, if you want to wear just like a regular gray, you can wear them on the bottom or in accessories, or like I said with that video that I linked before, ways to wear it that doesn't offset your color balance. So soft autumn, you could do kind of a softer granite gray, like it's not gray, but it's also not gray. That made no sense. It's got a bit of yellow infused to it, and because your colors are very muted, it means there's gray in all your colors, but this is just adding a bit more yellow if you're going to mix a color. True autumn's a bit harder because they're warmer. I would go with a gray that has a bit more brown in it. So it's kind of like on the cusp of brown and gray. Dark autumns, you're neutral. So you can slightly take on a few of the cooler tones, but with a bit more warm. So go for a similar granite gray that the dark winters are doing, but with a little bit of brown, warm brown infused into it, or like some yellow in it. Light spring, you can also do a lighter gray, but something that has like just a little bit of cream in it, or blue even. It doesn't feel too overwhelming, and again, you can kind of keep it further from your face. I think warm springs will have the hardest time with this one because they are so warm, and this is so not a warm color. So my suggestion would be to wear it away from your face if possible. But your grays are kind of like a greenish gray, so they tried to infuse a bit of warmth in there. And bright springs, also problem because grays are not typically super bright, but your gray is sort of in the same realm as the light spring. Like there's a bit of cream infused with the gray. Butter yellow, creamy, luscious, beautiful, and yeah, they're predicting that butter yellow is kind of the biggest type of yellow that's going to be out there because it's not typical to think of for fall and winter, so it's an interesting take. However, it's a very cool or slightly cool color and it's very muted. So for my summers, it's for you. Light, soft, true, you can all do it. Just varying degrees of intensity, essentially. But they're also predicting that there'll be other yellows out there too. So let's just break down your best yellow. Like I said, summers, go for butter yellow. Winters, true and bright, go for those classic Crayola yellows with the light turned up a little bit for the brightness, and the true is just a classic true cool toned yellow. Dark winters, you can also do a pure yellow, but just like a little, it's like the tiniest bit of mustard in there. Because you're neutral leaning cool, you can add just a tiny bit of that mutedness to your yellow. It's like a golden hue without it being overly gold. Light spring, I actually think you can also do butter yellow. Just ensure that sometimes you can find butter yellows that are like a little bit warmer. I would go for that. Bright springs, go for like a sunflower yellow. True springs, go for a honey yellow, like not quite mustard, but not quite sunflower, like something in the middle. You could even think like banana yellow. Soft autumn, I'm wearing my best yellow. It's kind of like a muted, lighter mustard or a muted banana yellow. Warm autumn, go for mustard, mustard, mustard. You look the best in mustard. Dark autumn, go for Dijon. Go for a little bit darker mustard. And the last color is blues. Now, again, there's all sorts of shades of blue, but they're predicting that it's going to be lighter shades like sky blue, light blue. So here's your best light blue in your subseason. Dark, deep winter, go for a sky or icy blue. True and bright winter, you can do an icy blue as well that has a little bit more white in it, but very cool. Warm, true autumn, go for a periwinkle or light teal. Dark autumn, go for a dark sky blue that has a little bit more yellow in there. Soft autumn, go for an opal blue, which doesn't make sense when I say it, but you're looking at the visuals. It's got quite a bit of yellow in it and gray infused. Stunning. Light summer, go for a baby blue, but you want it to be on the cool side. Soft summer, go for a powder baby blue, like a powder pewter blue, light blue. True summer, go for the muted version of an icy blue. So that just means that there's more gray versus white. Light spring, go for a baby blue, but with a little bit more of like yellow and greens to keep it warmer. And warm, true spring, go for a light, medium blue-green, kind of like those lighter teal greens. Lighter teal blues with a little bit more green in them. Similar to the bright springs, but just the light is turned on a little bit. Just a little bit. And that is it. That's all the top 5 Vogue's best colors for the fall and winter, basically what's going to be in the stores. I hope this was super helpful for you while shopping. And again, if you'd like to purchase my clear color cards for every subseason, the link is down below, and you could also just ask me questions about it. Just to give you a little, oh, the glare, I apologize, but if you can see this yellow I'm wearing. If you have any questions about your color season, if you don't know it, or your body type, your essences, I offer all of those services and more down below. I hope you all have a beautiful and colorful day.